Good morning, students of standard 6. Once again I am here to teach you, and as you know that yesterday I have discussed about the types of motion. Okay, how many types of motion? Yes, 5 types of motion. These are, first one is linear motion, or it is also called translatory motion. Very good. And linear motion are of 2 types. First one is rectilinear motion and second one is curvilinear motion. What is rectilinear motion? The motion in which object moves in a straight line is called rectilinear motion. Whereas curvilinear motion, the motion in which object moves in a curved path is called curvilinear motion. Second type is circular motion. Third is oscillatory or vibratory motion. Fourth is periodic motion, and last one is non-periodic motion. Okay, so today I will continue with second type, circular motion. Yesterday I have discussed about first type, linear motion. Today I will start second type, circular motion. The motion in which object moves in a circular path is called circular motion. Okay, the motion in which object moves in a circular path is called circular motion. As for example, movement of cycle in a circular path. Second example is movement of hand of clock is an example of circular motion. Movement of earth around the sun is called circular motion. Okay, now types of circular motion. As for linear motion, 2 types, same as circular motion is also 2 types. First one is revolving motion. Revolving motion. Second is rotational motion. Okay, circular motion is 2 types. First one is revolving motion, second is rotational motion. So now let us start to see about revolving motion. What is revolving motion? The motion in which object moves in a circular path and changes its position continuously is called revolving motion. As for example, we suppose that we take a thread, okay, and tie the thread with key. Tie the thread with key and catch the thread, the other end of the thread, and rotate it. Okay, just like this. That means key is rotate around the finger. So it is an example of revolving motion. Key revolve around the finger. Okay, so it is an example of revolving motion. Give another example of revolving motion. All planets revolve around the sun. So all planets, the motion of all planets are example of revolving motion. Like earth rotates, revolve around the earth, so it is an example of the motion of earth is revolving motion. Just like moon revolve around the earth, so the motion of moon is also example of revolving motion. Okay, that's clear? Yes. Now second is rotational motion. The motion in which object move in a circular path. The motion in which the object move in a circular path, but it does not change the position, it is constant at a fixed point, is known as rotational motion. That means difference between rotational and revolving. In revolving, object changes its position continuously, whereas in rotational motion, the object does not change its position but rotate from a fixed point in a circular path. As for example, see this clock, okay, and watch the movement of second hand. It is moved in a circular path, okay. Second hand, it is moved in circular path from a fixed point. It does not change their position from a fixed point. Fixed point, this is fixed point. It does not change its position, but it continuously rotates second hand or minute hand or hand, our hand, continuously rotate in a circular path. So this is the example of rotational motion, okay. Another example, earth rotates its axis, okay. So the rotation of earth itself is an example of rotational motion, okay. Another example, movement of top, rotation of top, the motion of top, lattu, top is an example of rotational motion. Why? Because top rotates from its axis. It does not change their position but rotates continuously. So it is an example of rotational motion. Clear? Revolving motion, the motion in which object move in circular path and does change its position continuously. But in rotational motion, the motion in which object rotates in a circular path, moves in a circular path and does not change their position, it is fixed at a point, is called rotational motion. Clear? Okay, very good. Now next type is third type, oscillatory motion. It is also called vibratory motion. Oscillatory motion or vibratory motion, the motion in which object moves to and fro or backward to forward from its mean position is called oscillatory motion or vibratory motion. That means we can say that the motion of object in which object vibrate or oscillate from its mean position to backward to forward position or to and fro motion, okay, is called oscillatory motion. As for example, suppose that you will take a rubber band, okay, you will take a rubber band, this is its mean position, this is its mean position, and if you will plug the rubber band, then it vibrates from their mean position to and fro. That means go upward then downward. So this is the example of vibratory motion or oscillatory motion. Another example you have seen in wall clock, pendulum wall clock. Pendulum moves backward and forward from its mean position. So this is the motion of pendulum in wall clock is an example of oscillatory motion or vibratory motion. Okay. Now another example, you have seen the string of a guitar. When you plug the string of the guitar, it vibrates and produces sound from their mean position to forward and backward position. So this is the another example of oscillatory motion or vibratory motion. I think you are able to understand about another two types. Yes, today I have discussed. Second one is circular motion and third is oscillatory motion. Once again, how many types you have studied? Yeah, very good. Three types. First one is linear motion, are two types. Linear motion is also called translatory motion, and linear motion are of two types. First one is rectilinear motion, second is curvilinear motion, second is circular motion. Circular motion are of two types. First one is revolving motion, second is rotational motion, and third types of motion is vibratory motion or oscillatory motion. Rest of the two motion, periodic motion and non-periodic motion, I will discuss in next class. Okay, thank you. Stay safe at home. Have a nice day.